Hey guys, what is up? John here from fly8mikealpha.com, here today in beautiful Seldovia, Alaska to do another test video here with the Bearhawk Patrol. We have Hull Brothers VGs that we're going to be sticking on the underside of the tail. Currently we have nothing on the underside of the tail here, just a plain regular tail. And we're going to see what these things really do, if they help, if they hurt, if they do absolutely nothing. Heard lots of things. We are going to find out right now. You guys are going to find out firsthand exactly what these things do when you put them on the bottom of the tail. All right, well, for starters here, we're going to have to get some sort of baseline to base all this off of. So right now we have nothing on the horizontal stabilizer. There are no VGs back there, just a plain tail. So we're going to go ahead and do this a couple different ways. First up will be power to idle. We'll be right here at about 2,000 feet, and we're just going to bring the stick all the way aft and see what we can get in, as far as a pitch attitude for our nose here. So I'll go ahead and reduce throttle all the way back to idle. I'm at 5 degrees nose up right now. Slowing the airplane down, get myself a little nose up trim. And of course we're going to descend here a little bit. We're just coming right down from 2,000, just trying to get a rough baseline so we have the same density altitude roughly when we do this again. 7.5 degrees nose up, bringing that stick all the way back, slowly working it back, trying to avoid the whole power off stall deal here. And 10 degrees. Keep in mind, we do have VGs on the wings, and that definitely helps this wing fly at a higher angle of attack. Got a little bit of junk in the back right now to help make it more of a middle-of-the-road CG. Working that stick all the way back, and I'm starting to get a nod, so actually enough elevator authority right now to make the wing stall. That's what's happening right now, so we're getting that nod. Now what happens if I go full flap? So if I go to full flap, well, that's going to cover up my elevator a little bit, disrupt some airflow back there, and guess what happens? Now my nose is dropping, I got the stick full aft, I'm coming down, 5 degrees, maybe that was a little bit of a nod there, 7.5, that's what I'm getting. It's just going to kind of oscillate there as airflow is separating a little bit from the tail, separating a little bit from the wing here and there. 6 full aft, oscillating somewhere around 7.5 degrees, I'd say, is about what we're getting. Power at idle. And it kind of separates, lowers the nose down to about 2.5. Comes there right to about 5. There's 7.5. And 5. Okay, so pretty steady around 5. Let's just call it 5 here. So 5 degrees nose up is the most I can get with my elevator full aft. The stick all the way back and my arm is tired. So let's go ahead and land. We'll throw the VGs on the tail. We'll see if we can get the nose any higher with the power at idle, full flaps, and the stick all the way full aft. See if that works any better for us. All right, so now's the fun part, getting down the dirt to lay underneath here and stick the stuff on. We've got 1.5 inch painter's tape. We're gonna lay that out right at the edge of the tube of the horizontal. So right where the tube becomes basically flat, or the horizontal becomes flat. That's going to give us 1.5 inch spacing between the trailing edge of the VG and the back of the horizontal. Of course, the horizontal sticks out just a little bit more than that because it's a tube, so that's roughly 2 inches or so spacing from the trailing edge of the VG to the gap of the horizontal and the elevator, and we'll stick our VGs on right in front of this tape. So since this is all temporary, we're just using 3M 468 MP, 200 MP adhesive basically. That is the stuff we're using there. That little backside of that, really, this is the stuff we're using here. You can see, this is the stuff we're using here. You can see the label on there. It's just very thin, two-sided tape, and we're using our Leatherman for spacing to put these on about 6 inch centers, maybe a little bit less, so they're going back here on the tail, just under 6 inch centers, but nice even spacing back here. And of course, we're using the flat Hull Brothers VGs rather than the curved ones because they're going on a flat surface back here, or a relatively flat surface. All right, both sides are done up with VGs. Time to go give this a shot. Ignore that little patch there. So I really don't know what it is. I know somebody else had said that these things just make the airplane fly bad, and I can almost start to kind of confirm it. Not that's a particular brand of VG, because I know they had said they'd use STOL speed VGs on the tail, and they did not like the way it felt at all. I'm using Hull Brothers VGs on the tail, and I can confirm that it feels funny. It's actually, I mean, it's just on the horizontal. It has nothing to do with the vertical stabilizer, but it seems to affect the overall stability of the tail of the airplane. and it seems like it's affecting the climb rate of the airplane. I'm at 25 square doing 800 feet a minute, 900 feet a minute maybe. I don't know, I just feel like it should be a little bit better than that. And yeah, just not overall real impressed so far. Let's try to get this thing up to 2,000 feet if the weather will allow it, and go back and do our normal test that we had just done there. Power off, full flap. We'll see what it does to the nose here. I'll make a little radio call for safety, let everybody know where we're at. Seldovia traffic, right Bearhawk, rocket point, 2,000 feet, maneuvering Seldovia. All right, let's go ahead and bring this power all the way back on to idle. Area's clear, no one else is out here. Use some nose up trim, start working the stick all the way full back, and actually just for ha-has here, power's all the way to idle. Let's bring that stick full aft and see what happens, because last time we had plenty of nose up authority with the elevator to actually cause a stall. And there's our nod. So yeah, same deal. We're getting that nod there. Let's go ahead and pull in full flap. That kind of blankets the tail a little bit. And now see what's happening. Same deal, it's nodding. Let's try to get it stop that. Kind of stabilize here. There's 2.5 degrees. Last time we said we were pretty confident it was somewhere right around 5 degrees nose up we were getting. Let's see what we get here. 7.5, 5. Stick is now full aft, all the way back. Sitting at 6 degrees. It's given me a tiny bit more nose, not really even, no, it's, well, as far as what it's doing for us right now, if it's doing anything, it's a degree or two. It might be doing something, might be doing a little bit to help. Not a whole heck of a lot. Is it enough for me to get really excited about them? Not really. What's the real deal? Well, we'll tell you when we get back on the ground here. In the meantime, I see a cool beach and I want to go try and land on it.
All right, so end game, yeah, they're coming off the airplane. We're not leaving them on there. Not that they're bad in general. Most airplanes really like them. I know some people say, oh yeah, they're great on the 4-place Bearhawk, which is really the same tail, really, as the Patrol, very similar anyways. For some reason, I've heard on other Patrols, tail VGs, not so great. Quite frankly, I just don't see any real advantage to them. Yeah, they were doing something, not really a whole heck of a lot. I'd be more interested to see what they would do on my rudder, because I could use a little bit more rudder authority when I go 40 flap. Could definitely do that, especially with some crosswinds out there, especially with some softer sand, getting into that on the beaches when it starts turning you. Really would like more rudder authority. So either landing 20 flap, more rudder authority, yeah, or if I want to land 40 flap, which I really do, well, I could probably try some VGs on the rudder next, which would probably really help. As far as on the horizontal stabilizer here for my elevator, doesn't really make that much of a difference. Don't really care enough. Taking them off, probably just excess drag you don't really need. And yeah, on your airplane though, whatever airplane you're flying, would certainly recommend trying them. We ended up just trying the Hull Brothers on here, not the STOL speed, because somebody else tried the STOL speed on their Bearhawk Patrol, so they didn't really like them either, how they felt on the tail. Wasn't crazy how they felt, didn't really think they did a whole lot, and if anything, they're just gonna add drag. So yeah, I wouldn't really waste the time on the horizontal on your Bearhawk Patrol, but if you're flying something else like an RV, a Cessna, or whatever, well, they typically do work pretty well on other airplanes, so definitely give them a try. Next up, I think, will be the vertical stabilizer, the rudder, because I definitely could use a little bit more rudder authority with those crosswinds when I'm landing 40 flap. Really, you can see how much pulling those flaps to 40 blankets this tail, makes the elevator a lot less effective, and it also makes that rudder a lot less effective when you cover it up with these big gigantic flaps on the Bearhawk here. So that is it for this one. They're coming off the airplane. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. It was fun for me, at least. I got to go pop into some beaches. Do you think I landed with a tailwind here? Who wants to go ahead and take a shot at explaining that in the comments below? that is always a fun thing to do, right? So you guys know what to do. Like the video if you do. If you dislike the video, hit that dislike button twice. And obviously subscribe if you guys have not already. Hit that little bell over there. You'll get notified when we post our latest videos. As always, guys, if you cannot fly every day, fly8mikealpha.com. We will see y'all in the next one.